All right, happy Monday night, everybody. Glad you're hanging out with us here in Raiderland World Headquarters. It's August. Football matters, except for where it doesn't matter in the preseason and the training camps and everything else. But it does matter. We've got polls out today. Texas Tech, number 24 in the coaches poll. Right, wrong, indifferent, you tell us. Why or why not? You like where they're ranked? We have that. The road goes on forever, and the drama never ends in Dallas Cowboy land. It's Jerry Jones versus Micah Parsons versus Jay-Z versus Rock Nation versus Des Bryant versus Jerry Jones. You got to love it. You guys pay for it. Good, bad, and ugly Monday recaps. Rangers, Astros. The Rangers have kind of stunk it up lately, but the Astros have stunk it up more, so the Rangers are making up ground after the All-Star break. All that, and it's happy Nolan Ryan beat down on Robin Ventura Day. Where were you this day in 1993? I'll tell you my story. You tell me yours. Let's get it going in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans. All you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com, where you start your day every day. You get the cool Raiderland hot links, the best, freshest, hottest links around the internet. You get the question of the day. You find out what we're talking about. That's why you go to TheRaiderland.com every morning. Brought to you tonight, and all the communication tonight on the little chat line thing. United Supermarkets in Market Street. There's grocery stores around here that take your money and send it down south and put it on scoreboards in Austin. Then there's one that puts it on buildings, that invest in the infrastructure and the people of West Texas in Texas Tech. United Supermarkets in Market Street. Also McAlpin Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Raiderland. His slogan is not, if your back's out of whack, don't call a quack, call Kevin Mack. Should be Kevin. Could be good. And then one of our latest great new sponsors. We hate pests. We hate bugs. You don't want them in your house. You don't want them around. But we like ninjas, right? Well, come to find out, ninjas hate pests. Ninja Pest Control in Lubbock. Hit their website. Hit their Facebook page. Give them a holler. Tell them we sent you. Ninja Pest Control. They're going to get you taken care of. Because ninjas apparently hate pests. I learned things doing this show. I had no idea. All right, so let's get you guys going. The early arrivals, you know what to do. Let us know the audio is good, the video is good. Let us know where you're jumping in from, whether you're on YouTube. We love all of our YouTube people. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland free. If you have not subscribed, subscribe, whether you watch it there on Facebook Live or on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. But we love the new YouTube people. We're late getting to the YouTube channel over the years. We're catching up. We're making up ground. We blew by 500 subs. We're going to hit, I think, 1,000 during football season. You guys are going to make that happen. So wherever you are, whatever we're doing tonight, let's talk about Texas Tech football, coaches poll. Now, remember, we couldn't have a media poll. The Big 12 doesn't control the coaches poll in the AP, right? We couldn't have a media poll for the Big 12 because last year they got it so wrong. They thought, well, that hurt Arizona State and other teams. Yeah, maybe it did. Maybe it did. If it did, Don Williams wrote a fascinating column about it today. And I'm going to try to get Don from the AJ on tomorrow, old radio compadre. And I don't necessarily disagree with him, but I like it when he thinks I disagree with him because he gets agitated and we have good discussion. So Tech 24 in the coaches poll. Are you surprised that Texas Tech is 24? Do you like Tech being 24? Do you think they should be higher? Why should they be higher? It's been a while since Texas Tech was in a preseason poll of anything. Then we mentioned it, the Dallas Cowboys drama. I'm telling you right now, something's different with the Micah Parsons, Jerry Jones deal right now. That this may be the first one that crosses the Rubicon and a Dallas Cowboys star says, F it, I'm out of here, trade me, I'm sitting out. Because why would he not at this point? Why should he come back? Given what you've seen over the last 2.5 decades of Cowboys football, why does he want to become the next great football player who never made an NFC title game? We don't even talk about Super Bowls with the Cowboys, right, anymore. We talk about getting to NFC championship games and trying to lose there. Why would he come back? All right, let's get your conversation going on the United Supermarkets chat line. Greetings. Thank you, sponsors, new and day ones. Absolutely. The old ones like McAlpin, the new ones like Ninja Pest Control. Chris jumps in on Facebook. Clear as a bell. Facebook and McKinney, a.k.a. the Metro Mess. Hope it's only about, we were about 95, I think, around here today. It's going to get blazing hot all around the great state of Texas this week. So buckle down. That must mean two-a-day. Well, they don't do two-a-days anymore. Must mean high school football practices, band practices. Band practices, man. They get out there in the heat too. So Texas Tech in the coaches poll checks in at 24. No surprise, Texas, Ohio State 1 and 2. Why would that be? Well, they're going to play right off the bat. So we got to have the ranking so we can have something to tell everybody that this is a big game. Penn State 3, they'll do just what they do every year. They'll win a whole bunch of games, and then they'll lose the most important game they play, whatever that may be this year, to Ohio State or whoever. Georgia 4, Notre Dame 5. Let's go to the Big 12 portion of the rankings. And the first one you see, hold on, did I miss one? There we are, Arizona State 11. Hey, how about that? No respect last year, maybe too much respect this year. Sam Leavitt, though, at quarterback. They've got Texas Tech and I believe Arizona State have the most returning productivity coming back out of any Big 12 schools this year. That matters in this world of transfers and everything else. So they're 11. By the way, I had Michigan, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee. Kansas State 20, Iowa State 21, BYU 23, Texas Tech 24. I like the fact that you have the vast top middle, more or less, in the coaches poll, because I think that seems to indicate to me that the coaches who are voting on this, or their SID/media relations people, are realizing that the top middle of the Big 12 is as good as any conference in the country. Now, the Big 12 might not have just a super, absolute lock, number 1, number 2 team. But beyond that, they've got a lot of teams that could be in the top 10, top 15 in college football. Get squeezed out, too many teams, too many conferences. This is a very healthy league that I think you look at the top 6 programs. And I guess I should be throwing BYU in there. I've got Baylor ahead of BYU. Dave Aranda saved his job last year by beating Tech. I mean, there are people that think Baylor is the best team, and where are my Bears? Sick 'em Bears. They're not even in the coaches poll. I guess they all hate Dave Aranda. It was bound to happen, But Tech at 24, do you like it? Are you surprised? You tell me. Let's see. JC back on our Facebook channel. Preseason polls from any source, you don't hate them enough. I don't like them. I understand why they exist. Don Williams wrote a column today, and we may have him on tomorrow to try to debate this a little bit. I mean, could you give me 2 weeks? Don's all about, hey, history, and it's a benchmark. Texas Tech wouldn't get credit for beating Arizona week 1, 1989, in that super 9-3 year the Red Raiders had going to the All-American Bowl. I get it. I get the history, everything else. He's also a poll voter. All right. Does it tint, though, the people that are making decisions now on the College Football Playoff Committee? I believe it does. Back in the day, it didn't matter. There was no committee. There was nothing. It didn't tint anything. Basketball has such a larger sample size that we can overcome preseason polls in basketball. November polls in basketball don't mean Shinola come mid-December, late December. Football is a different animal. And that would be the biggest argument that I would have if you want to compare and contrast the two, that basketball can overcome the cognitive bias of the first polls. Football can't. Maybe it can. You tell us. Cowboy fans out there, we can talk about the Cowboys. The whole Jerry Jones, Jay-Z, Des Bryant story is fascinating. My favorite thing was the Des Bryant tweet this morning or last night. You want to tell stories? We can tell stories. Please, Des Bryant, go out with your friends, get a little unhinged. I want stories. I think Dallas Cowboy fans are desperately in need of you to tell stories about Jerry Jones. So maybe somehow, well, no, the league's never going to take over the team. It's not going to be a Donald Sterling deal. Unless Jerry Jones completely goes, and you guys can look this up because you're young. The episode in MASH called The General Flipped at Dawn. All right? The General Flipped at Dawn, D-A-W. The first time that Harry Morgan, as an actor, was on MASH episode, he plays a general who goes nuts. Unless Jerry Jones goes full Harry Morgan, the General Flipped at Dawn in a MASH episode, you're stuck with him for now. All right, so Michael says Texas Tech will still have to do what Arizona State did last year to make the playoffs, I think. Playoffs? Going to the Tech-Arizona State game, then going to the Cardinals-Packers game the next day. Holy crap, that's a hell of a deal right there. That is not bad at all. For those Tech fans who can make it out there to the desert and go to Tempe and then hang out, go over there to oh gosh, where's the Cardinals Stadium? Not Scottsdale. That's not right. Something else. Anyhow, that's pretty cool. Well, yeah, I mean, Texas Tech doesn't play anybody with a pulse until they go on the road to play Utah. Then they go to Houston. And even then, you've still got to prove a lot. It does help that they are in the coaches poll, ranked 24th. You're not going to know anything. Yeah, they're going to have to do what Arizona. I mean, for Texas Tech to make the playoff, you got to win the Big 12. I don't think Texas Tech. Well, the Big 12. Okay, 2 undefeated teams or 1 loss teams, which would be given the schedule the way I look at it with the component breakdown. I think it's going to be hard to have 2 undefeated teams going in there. But all right, let's say we did that, then maybe one could make it with a loss in the championship game. Joseph on the Good, Bad, and Ugly Monday. This goes back into the old days of the Williams and Hyatt show on radio from 1994 to 2012. The stuff you loved, the stuff you hated, the stuff you had to look away from. Good. 1 weekend closer to football. Bad NASCAR low fuel myth. Ugly any Gundy press conference. I find the Gundy press conferences fascinating. Let's go back to the Iowa Cornfields of America 350. Yesterday, William Byron with Lee Diffie on the call. Don't get me started on Lee Diffie doing the call on NASCAR. Sorry. I guess I'm xenophobic or something. This is about 2 or 3 races in a row where all we've heard are the announcers talking about, guy, out of fuel, no way, got to save, max save. Can't get there. Will he get there? Can he get there? Can he finish the race? Can the leader? He's got to be backpedaling this thing right now. He's going through the turns, feathering it, just laying off. Look at the line he's taking right there, trying to let the car just carry itself through with momentum. We don't know that he can make it. Has he given up any time? No, he's not giving up any time to the field, but he's got to be running out of fuel. There's no way on the fuel window he's going to make. He makes it. Then he does a burnout. Then he drives it to victory lane. So for my NASCAR friends out there, I think it was Smokey Yunick, and I can't remember what year Daytona. He wins Daytona. This is, like the late 50s, early 60s. And back then they mandated the size of the gas tank on the car and everything. But he had taken tubing and just wound tubing throughout the entire part of the car. No telling how many inches of tubing, which was his fuel line. So he could pack fuel into that line So he had a huge advantage over. So, same type thing back then. He's going to run it. No, he didn't run out of fuel. And then he wins it, goes to victory lane, fires up the car, not making this up, and drives it out of the track back to his house and shop that was outside of Daytona Speedway by however many miles. That's what we were watching. Well, what you were watching was drama. And I like Lee Diffie. He's a quality announcer, but he does not sound like NASCAR. JC, yes, sir. Because of small samples and unbalanced schedules, preseason polls define fate of some teams before the first snap. Notre Dame, nothing on schedule. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest problem I have with it on the football standpoint. You're playing 12 games. You have a small sample size. It's hyperinflated early on. Give me 2 weeks. Because, again, a team like Texas Tech, with even with the returners, the number of transfers, you still don't know what this team is going to look like, and they play nobody with a pulse for 3 weeks. There is nobody who has any legitimate football mind that'll be able to watch Kent State, or Kent, I think it's just Kent now, the Flashes, used to be the Golden Eagles or something, I don't know, whatever. Anyhow, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and even Oregon State, when they come to Lubbock, and say with certainty, oh, yeah, they can line up right next to Georgia and Ohio State, Texas. Absolutely. Can't do it. So why do we think we can do it with 35, 45 other teams around the country? You can't. I'm not against polls, Don. But when it comes to football, I think we could wait a week or two. But then how would we know? If there were no polls in 1979 when USC, what was it? George Rogers, not George Rogers, Marcus Allen, Charles White, Anthony Munoz. If that team had come to Lubbock, Texas in the late 70s to play the Red Raiders, how would we have known that was a big game? I mean, everybody would have stayed home. Nobody would have gone. USC didn't have a preseason #1 ranking. How would we know USC was any good? Yeah, I'm going to have Don on. Somebody's going to tell Don I'm whipping on him, and that's not really the case. Not really the case. Cardinals in Glendale. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Glendale. I couldn't think of the Dell that they were in. Be careful blowing off the early season cupcakes. Remember ACU last year? Yeah, you won. And I'll blow off the early season cupcakes. And if you lose to one, fireable offense. I have no problem with that. So, yes, absolutely. Blow off the early season cupcakes. If you suck, if you don't do well, that's on you. I learned nothing from beating them. Wouldn't play them. Wish we could get to an NFL-like schedule where you have the top 60, 70 teams, and they all have to play each other every week. And they can't play anybody else, and they don't have any cupcakes, and they don't have any ACUs out there. So, yes, I will absolutely blow off the first 3 games of the year. I probably should do Oregon State that way, but I will. 100% will. Joseph wants to know any traction to the Oklahoma pursuit of Kirby Hocutt. I'll tell you this, based on what I've heard, there not only is no traction, there never was any traction. So I wouldn't worry about it. Tough path to anywhere with 2 losses for Tech. Oh, I agree. You get 2 regular season losses. The problem then becomes, and I think you're looking at, we'll need Jews from good results all year from those who play K-State, Arizona State, BYU ranked above. So you get BYU at home, but you got to go play at K-State, at Arizona State, at Utah, your first road game. Schedule's problematic. You lose 2 games. Most likely, the 2 games that you would lose in those 4 opponents would be opponents probably ahead of you that now have the tiebreak, and they go to the championship game. You don't go to the championship game. You don't go to the playoffs. You go to the Alamo Bowl or whatever, the Cheez-It Bowl or whatever the hell it is. I mean, it's pretty cut and dried and simple that way for Texas Tech this year. That while this team is, I believe, dramatically improved talent-wise, we'll see how it transfers on the field. But the margin for error is the same as it's always been. You got to be really damn good to get out of this thing. And that's why when you have 6 teams, I believe 6 teams that I can throw under a blanket, it's like, it's like a horse race, and they're coming around the turn into the front stretch, and you can throw a blanket on 6 horses. And it doesn't matter whether one's a 40-1 and one is a 2-1. It doesn't matter. They're all right there coming into the front stretch. Anybody can win the race. That's this Big 12 deal this year. You can take the first 4 to 6 teams, and you can tell me any combination. If we were going to do an exacta or box exacta, and you could wheel, there's not a single team I would wheel down over the field and say, all right, Arizona State or Utah, Tech, BYU, Kansas State. There's not a single team, Arizona, that I would wheel over the field because it's so easy for anybody to get in there and take them out. JC and Baylor plays no one, include Tech. So 1 loss at most. Boy, Baylor is fascinating to me this year. What did we see? Dave Aranda saves his job last year. You got Sorry Robertson coming back. Could have been a Red Raider, but he always wanted to play for Mike Leach, and that's how he ends up there at Mississippi State and everything else. So don't hate on him and all that stuff. He wanted to be a Leach kid. He was a Leach kid. He was a Leachian. But Aranda saves his freaking job last year, probably by beating Tech. Where are they going into the year? I want to go back. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I was looking at this earlier. I referenced it, I think, earlier on this broadcast about the most productivity coming back on a continuity table. This is ESPN. Continuity table looks at each team's returning production levels, offense, defense, overall. All right. Number 1 is Arizona State with a retention productivity ranking of 79%. And I think that's 2nd overall in the country, if I'm reading the chart right. Number 1 in the Big 12. Tech, 6th overall in the country, 73%. Baylor at 70%. It's got offense, defensive retention. Tech, 70 offense, 76 defensive retention. The interesting thing about Tech on the defensive retention is that you replaced most of those guys with better guys. Defensive line, secondary. They're really only the linebacking core stays the same. This thing is fascinating to me. I was looking at it earlier today, and I haven't had a chance to crawl through it compared to other teams. But if Texas Tech's numbers are anywhere close on this thing, and you've upgraded on that, and you believe in the idea that, okay, you get better with having players hang around, I'm intrigued. You have my attention. All right, Cowboy fans, you can jump in tonight. The Jerry Jones, do you think this is different between Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones? Is Micah Parsons different? Will he walk? Would he sit out? Will he demand a trade? Would he get it? Or is he just going to do like Myles Garrett did? Is he going to do, well, Myles Garrett demanded a trade, and then he got his deal and he signed. TJ Watt didn't demand a trade or anything, but, he got his deal. Dak Prescott last year never demanded a trade, never walked away. Is this deal different with Micah Parsons? And if so, why? And if so, do you support Parsons? That if Parsons did tell Jerry to go jump in a lake, take a rolling donut, and didn't play for you, would you hold it against Micah Parsons or would you hold it against Jerry Jones? Who would you hold that against? That if Parsons does not play, if he somehow forces a trade, I don't think he can. Who do you support in this deal and why? That we have seen now for 25 and a half years, 30 years. Why does Micah Parsons want to be a party to it anyways? Why does he really want to sign that? Why does he have any reason to believe that anything is going to be different or change? So if you're a Cowboy fan, we asked you that on King of the Hill Day. That's right, King of the Hill Day. Look at this. Strickland Propane, taste the meat, not the heat. Arlen, Texas. Grilling and propane accessories. Thank you very much. Back on Hulu. Can't wait to watch either later tonight or tomorrow. Might be tomorrow. I got stuff to do tonight. And it is Nolan Ryan versus Ventura Day. The original FO moment in Major League Baseball. Who are you with on this? David Collier's on KMAC 28. He's on radio on the Score 100.7 from 9 to 4 in the afternoon. Support Micah Parsons. Someone needs to jump the shark and demonstrate this strategy sucks. Andy St. John, Parsons is under contract, but I do hold it against JJ. Yeah, he's under contract. Doesn't matter. If he never worked a day in his life, if he's smart, Micah Parsons doesn't have to do a damn thing. I think it's a contract tactic, what Parsons is doing, playing with the media, just like Jones likes to play with the media. I think he'll sign and play game one against the Eagles. He'll only sign if the contract's there. Dak only signed because the contract was there literally when they were announcing the actives for game one against the Browns. I believe that was the game. They announced the contract extension. Jerry loves the drama. But this time I think the drama is biting him back. I think he's got a guy that knows he doesn't have to play. And he's not a quarterback. Micah Parsons can't play quarterback years. Micah Parsons can't do that. Micah Parsons could take this year off and absolutely be better for his next employer going forward. So let it be Micah to demo AFO. What will the NFL do to prevent hold-ins moving forward? I'm not out of camp. I'm in camp, but I'm not working. It can only be addressed in the next collective bargaining agreement, where the ownership always rolls over the Players Association, which is why college football and colleges and universities should absolutely make players employees and make them unionized so they can steamroll them the way the NFL owners steamroll the Players Association. So what do you do to do that? You got to dock more. You got to take away more. Take away the guaranteed. Take away clawbacks on more of the contract than just, hey, if you're not in camp, you get, fined $25,000 a day. The more they wait, says Michael, the more people keep talking about the Cowboys, and that's what Jerry likes, I think. I know. That's what he loves. He loves that more than, and I'm going to talk about this tomorrow on our 60 Seconds of Raiderland commentary in the morning. He loves that more than winning. He wants his name to be known more than the Cowboys being known for winning. And I can prove it because if you look at the last 5 teams to win Super Bowls in the NFL, most of you cannot name their general managers. Like right off the bat, we're sitting there at the bar, hanging out, eating hot wings, drinking beer. Most of you, not Collier, Collier's different. You can't name their general manager. Hey, man, JC, thanks for the kind words. We appreciate it. Please subscribe to YouTube. Follow us on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Subscribe to our Facebook page. We put different content on different places. A lot of fun on Facebook as well. So get out there on that. But, yeah, YouTube, we got 500. We want 1,000. I don't think it's any reason we shouldn't have 1,000 subscribers this time. I don't know, at the end of the month, end of this month, next month. Let's go the end of September. Let's go the end of September. Football and everything else. Everybody who enjoys the show, go subscribe it. Then what you do is you go online. Thank our great sponsors like Ninja Pest Control in Lubbock, Texas. Ninjas hate pest. McAlpin Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Raiderland. United Supermarkets. They're all out there on YouTube. They're all out there on Facebook. They're all out there on Twitter. Wherever you find them on social media, drop them a line. It means so much to them as sponsors to hear back from you. Lets them know their message is being heard and the money they're spent is going to the right people. That means you. That means you out there making it happen. Joseph Parsons could less filthy rich, but win a Super Bowl elsewhere. He could probably get rich and win a Super Bowl elsewhere. I agree, we can do it. Let's do it. Hey, little programming note for those of you hanging around. We're gonna not be done tonight with our broadcasting. We're gonna be on VSIN tonight, Biggest Stats and Information Network, vsin.com. You can get it on internet, Twitter, you name it. Their website, vsin.com. We're going to be on with Matt Humans and Will Hill tonight, 8:30 Central, talking Big 12 and Texas Tech football. So if you want to check that out tonight, we've got the link sent out, I believe, there on our Twitter page at Ryan Hyatt Media. So we're going to be there at some point tonight, 8:30 Central, just hanging out with our Matt, the crankiest man in American sports media, Matt Humans, and the nicest guy in sports media at Not the Will Hill there on VSiN. So we're going to be there tonight. We're going to be back with you tomorrow morning, Tuesday's best, rolling out theraiderland.com. The next thing we ask you to do, we're going to post this on our website, theraiderland.com. Share it, invite your friends in, get ready to rock and roll. A lot of fun tonight. You guys were good. See you tomorrow.